Welcome back to Journey to XRP. Settle in, because what I'm about to break down today is not just another headline, and it's definitely not something you want to skim past. Today may very well go down as one of the most pivotal moments in Ripple's entire history, because Ripple has officially taken a step that changes how institutions, regulators, and banks view this company forever. Ripple is becoming a bank. And before you jump to conclusions, before you think this means retail accounts, debit cards, or Ripple competing with Coinbase or your local bank, stop. Because that knee-jerk reaction is exactly what's causing most people to completely misunderstand what this actually means. What happened today is far bigger than price. It's bigger than short-term hype, and it fundamentally alters Ripple's position inside the global financial system. In this video, I'm going to explain what Ripple becoming a bank actually does for XRP, what it unlocks for Ripple as a company, and why this is not about retail at all. It's about infrastructure, trust, and access at a level we have not seen before in crypto. But before we go deep into that, I also want to flag something that should concern anyone blindly pushing other narratives in this market. There's a serious issue unfolding on the Solana side that almost nobody wants to talk about, and once you see the data, it raises some uncomfortable questions about where real sustainability actually exists in crypto. So this isn't a cheerleading video. This is a reality check. We're going to separate emotion from facts, noise from signal, and hype from real structural change. Because whether you like XRP or not, what just happened today forces a reassessment of the entire market. Take a breath. Stay open-minded, and let's walk through this step by step, because once you understand what this move really represents, you'll never look at Ripple, XRP, or institutional crypto adoption the same way again. Let's get into it. Now, before we go any deeper into what this banking approval actually unlocks for Ripple and XRP, I need to address something that's been bothering me, because it perfectly highlights how broken a lot of crypto narratives really are right now. And this ties directly into the way people still misunderstand XRP. I keep seeing this strange behavior in crypto where people are aggressively pro-Solana or pro-Ethereum, but then irrationally hostile toward XRP. And I'm not talking about thoughtful criticism, and I'm talking about lazy talking points. XRP is centralized. XRP is trash. XRP is for banks, so it's bad. Meanwhile, the same people are cheering for networks that are quietly falling apart under the hood. Let's talk facts for a second. Solana validators are collapsing. The network has gone from roughly 2,500 validators down to around 800. That's a nearly 68% drop. 2 more validators quit just this month, publicly stating it's simply too expensive to continue operating. The estimated cost to properly run a Solana validator is pushing into the tens of millions of dollars. That's not decentralization. That's economic exclusion. And here's the scary part. Solana is approaching the minimum validator threshold required to safely support the network. Once you flirt with that line, you're not talking about ideology anymore, and you're talking about systemic risk. Yet somehow this gets brushed aside, while XRP, a network that has operated reliably for over a decade through multiple market cycles, regulatory attacks, and stress events, gets labeled unsafe or inferior. That should immediately trigger your bullshit detector. What you're really seeing here isn't technical analysis, it's VC narrative protection. Solana has been one of the most aggressively VC-funded chains in crypto history. Early insiders got massive allocations, cheap tokens, preferential access. Of course, they're going to defend it. Of course, they're going to push narratives. That doesn't make the network stronger, or it just makes the marketing louder. And here's the irony that made me laugh today. One of the highest IQ individuals on record publicly disclosed getting into XRP. Does that mean XRP investors are geniuses? No, that's not the point. The point is how absurd it is to claim that only idiots hold XRP when the data simply doesn't support that narrative. Highly intelligent people, institutions, banks, regulators, they are all converging on XRP for one reason. It works, and it works at scale. And this matters because Ripple becoming a bank doesn't happen in a vacuum. Regulators don't hand out trust bank charters to companies they view as unstable, unserious, or risky. The OCC does not approve experiments. They approve infrastructure. So while social media is busy arguing about memes, TPS numbers, and influencer narratives, the adults in the room are making decisions about who gets access to the financial system. And that brings us back to Ripple. Ripple didn't chase retail.